All right. Hello, everyone. So today I'm actually going to be demo reviewing my own gameplay. And the reason why is because I'm incredibly washed. Since the last season I played, it's kind of been a good amount of time. So uh, my team is going to be playing at the upcoming LAN in July. So we're getting back into scrims. Still incredibly washed, all of us. So I wanted to see if I could analyze my own gameplay, see where I could improve, because I definitely am not at peak performance. And I thought I would be nice to be able to give some of my own thoughts on my own gameplay and go from there. So uh, just a bit of a spoiler, we do end up losing this one. And unfortunately, I don't have a POV demo. Typically, that's what you would want with that. Um, but yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, so we tried going right here, but I don't know. I guess I put too many heals into my demo rather than my scouts at the beginning, so that they were trying to make space and couldn't. And I don't really think our soldiers got anything. So now I'm just on the run. Um, so this guy, I was super upset. He lived with 2 HP. Uh, and the reason he lived with 2 HP was because I missed getting that little, like, health pack, the small pill. So if I had gotten that, I actually would have lived there. So definitely a mistake from me. I almost escaped, but so it goes. All right, so now we're on disad. I'm just trying to buff everyone, but not put myself out of position to do it. So I'm chilling. If they come left here, in one of our previous scrims, we had our whole team kind of going through spawn and getting locked in there. So this time I was saying to my team, like, hey, let's try to stay out of spawn. But I don't know, I just kind of found myself alone here, which you never want this happening. And then their medic's kind of running at me, so I try to give them a little workaround while I'm taking my heavy. But yeah, my team actually ends up holding this, which is pretty surprising. I guess their medic, like, not healing their players, kind of threw them off, allowed them to all get kills. We had a good collapse. I don't really know. I'm focused on my own gameplay. I don't think there was that much that I could have done there. My team kind of left me. So now we think it's like 10 ad. It turns out that they weren't healing here, so it's a little bit more ad, but we're not going to take it. We don't know that this is real ad. It should be fake. All right. Just chilling, building Uber, and waiting for their sack play. Can speed up a bit through the boring parts. I'm surprised actually here that we're not building Uber, just to finish it out. But regardless, it doesn't really matter too much. We're chilling. Speed it up just a bit more. They are trying to work a sniper. Okay, so I remember this one. Turnip actually wanted to play close here against the sniper, which is typically what you should do. But on Sunshine, I actually don't like playing close because if you're by this wall, it's really easy for a soldier just to, like, land on your head. But when you're playing back here, it's kind of hard to output heals to your team, especially they're bringing their beam onto the flank. So our flank here really has to, like, play passive pretty much. And my pocket soldier over there, he trades. My flank's kind of getting, they're just kind of enjoying holding down the fort. Probably our demo needs to support them. He's supporting them now. So yeah, really it's when you're in a position like this, don't do what I'm doing there. What I was about to say was you really don't want to be a team making a mistake. So just be patient, hold your ground. Don't get caught out. Don't give yourself a clear peek on the sniper sight line like I did. I remember when I did that, I was like, oh, that was super stupid. All right. I duck into a dungeon there, which probably isn't like the greatest place to duck into, but I don't know, it's fine. So there was, I think, a miscommunication here. It was really unclear. Some people were like pushing through Valley and thought there was a good fight to take, but our combo just like didn't recognize it. So now I'm like, I don't know why Altitude there walked forward and Trees was confused. I don't think realized that Turnip died, so couldn't meet up with me. But it actually kinda ends up to be a decent exchange. I'm ending in the worst spot possible because I want to link up with my teammates. It was a decent exchange, but Altitude and I needed to back up to Shutter. We kind of stayed in no man's land after that. And they're in on our last now, I believe. Oh no, not quite yet. That is a different opportunity. Yeah, but I do remember that moment being confusing as to what was going on. But now it's disad again. We're building because it's only slight disad. If it's like gonna be 30% disad, you actually still want to be building, just because there's the potential that you get Uber during the fight. They get forced in lobby there. So now I'm just kind of like chilling, make sure I survive, watch out for sackers. And now we have Uber to push out. Typically how we like pushing out, I mean, there's 3 doors. You go Shutter, Bats, or lower left. This time we're looking Shutter. I'm baiting a bit here, waiting for a sack. Sack comes in. I almost jump into that second rocket. Second soldier, he fades, thank God. Probably would have gotten a force on me if he had committed. And they're kind of just feeding. And again, the whole time I'm just playing it safe. Like, we still have a decent amount of ad. There's no reason to rush it, get forced, and have to leapfrog. At least on second. We want to take it into mid if we can. And we do. Alright. So my Uber counting was really bad. I think I still thought that this was ad. Yeah, definitely did. Turnip gets too far from me, so I drop him on that one. So now I'm calling, like, help us in cafe. That one was just entirely on me. 1, I needed to not drop Turnip, and 2, I needed to be better about counting Uber, and 3, I have no idea where that guy came in from. But I was trying to like link back, stabilize on the point, but I don't know. That's just how that one goes. I was probably thinking about the Uber and not really focusing on next steps. Okay, so the reason I did that right there was because it was called that one of the scouts was weak, so I thought I could get a cheeky bow off on him, and I actually did. So that one is actually a pick that opens this up for us to be able to like push back in here. So I don't mean to toot my own horn, but that was kind of the most important pick of the game. Jokes aside, now we have ad. We can start pushing even before we have, but you got to be careful because you can't actually like fully get through the doorway, there's the possibility that your entire team just kind of explodes. Like Turnip right there kind of just exploded. But now that we have Uber, we're actually getting through. Notice how passive they are because we have ad, they have to respect it. And it wasn't enough ad that without Turnip, we thought it was still good to push. So we're just chilling. At least I hope we don't push this. Oh, we're pushing it. No, that's a double sack. Or a single sack? Yeah, because Newt went. Alright, thank God. We turned it into a sack. That is one thing that's pretty important. Just being quick about your sacks, because if we had waited there, they would have had time to get their sentry up. So we tried to hurry it as much as possible before they have that sentry up, because once that sentry is up, the odds of your sack actually succeeding go way down. Turnip's kind of caught as hell. Turns into a triple sack, but we dropped their med, so we're down 3. I want to back up all the way to choke. Macron wanted to hold by Valley, which is kind of like a default down 2, but if you're down both of your scouts, hold by choke because it's very far away. And you really want like no risk of anything touching you. Here I have a really bad surf and I kind of fear pop on that guy. I definitely shouldn't have used there, but I thought he was gonna hit me with the rocket when I hit the ground. So unfortunately it evens out, which kind of sucks. This guy is feeding and a scout fed. So I remember us being really surprised that they pushed there. And I'm not actually sure like why they did. I guess the soldier on lower, he just saw an opportunity to like get in and he was like, everyone come in, they're in horrible positioning, and they took advantage of that. For me, it's now been twice that a random soldier has gotten on me, so that's kind of a key indicator that my awareness is definitely not what it should be. I need to have my head on a swivel and be watching for things like that. So that is something I'll note down. All right, let's disad again. They're in deep on right, but this kind of works out to our favor a bit because we're getting close to having the Uber. My teammates kind of run away from me, but it's fine. I see the demo. I just like don't want to drop anyone, and I want to keep our health good. I think that's trees right there. Yeah, it is. He does a really good job at killing that demo like instantly, which allows us to keep our focus on the left. If you have to focus on 2 sides, it gets really difficult. So this is kind of one of those scenarios. They Ubered in, and then we Ubered back, like during the force, or during their push. So they actually could have build check ad on us. So we have to be sure, like, let's like really make sure we build this and not get caught to like a 10% ad Uber push. And for medic, that's just like one of the scenarios you need to know. Like I think a lot of lower level medics, they don't realize that like counting Ubers, it's not actually like that complicated. You have like just a few I don't know, subsets of different scenarios where if you know what the scenario is, you'll know if it's ad or disad. And that one was they used in, and they during their push we got Uber and used back. So it's like pretty close in that instance. So just make sure you build and don't get caught by the build check. All right, more stalemate gaming. Our sniper gets a pick, so we push out. We catch a guy in lobby, which is really good. I wasn't completely pushing here because it initially was going to be a double sack, but then they said come in, so I try to have them come in. I saw that scout going to last, so I tried to chase him. I dropped altitude during that one, which was kind of rough. I guess in that instance, one, the guy getting behind, like, we should have expected that. The first guy that got the cap time. But the second thing is we need to know that they're going to be going for an exchange there. So, even if we think that there is space on second and we're like, hey, like, come into this, it still has to be a pressure for a counter sack. Like, if we get the force there, we still have to be in a position where they're not able to get the exchange off of us. As a whole, we could have been a little more passive. My scouts are over there getting rocked, so I'm kind of in complete fear here. So I don't see anything good. I don't know where my team went. Half of them were in Valley, half of them were not. So it just wasn't great. Altitude has a super late death here. I don't know how he died there. Newt has an even later death here. So the only saving grace is that I lived there, and I think I was so panicked I like didn't recognize if their med lived or died. Or maybe that's why I was by choke, because I was trying to bait. Yeah, it looks like we know that it's ad here, but I would have no idea how much ad this is. I remember this one. So I'll let it play out and then give my thoughts on this one. Okay, so my thoughts. Oh, altitude. He got unflashed there for a second. I guess that's my bad. My thoughts on that one is we stayed bottom left for way too long. If you're going bottom left, get through the doorway. I don't know why we waited there. And now, like, we're just getting counter popped on. Like, because we waited so long, they were able to get their Uber, and we never had established any amount of positioning on second. So that's just a losing fight. I guess we had like a crazy collapse on them. Somehow that scout is living forever. It's insane that we held this. I'm not gonna lie on that one. Turnip's looking for stuff. I'm trying to meet up with him. And no, we don't have the positioning. So it's another stalemate. All right. So Sunshine last. If you have a gun, it's kind of impossible for you to get like sacked on. Really, the only main thing you got to be aware of is a sniper and a spy. And where I am holding now is kind of where I like to hold. I just think it's a little bit better than standing back. And I'm trying to tell my team like where I want the gun. I prefer underneath the ramp, but I guess they prefer it on the point. That's kind of like minor things. The main thing about this one is just make sure I'm keeping both sides like fully healed. That's actually why I like holding like where I am, because I can. I guess the only thing to be aware of is when I'm beaming my guys on the right side, my soldiers in particular, I gotta really be careful that a scout just doesn't like walk through dungeon. Because I am pretty exposed there. All right. So once it's about like a minute left, that's when you get into exchange territory. So when they're going to exchange, the key thing is just make sure no one dies. I'm really trying not to like die here. We did notice the spy. Someone bumped into him. So yeah, there's the spy. This guy's just peppering me. I almost think that guy should have actually just walked at me and gotten the force. One of their guys leaves the game. I don't know. Maybe that was a spectator or someone. I don't know. Here the exchange comes. I just use, like, don't drop anyone, don't drop Uber. Call aside to end on. For me, I'm mainly looking around to see who, like, that scout was shooting at. And I saw that scout was shooting at my soldier, so that's an instance where it's okay to flash that guy. And we try to get some cap time, but unfortunately it does not work. Alright, another mid. The mids have kind of been rough for us this game, and altitude dies immediately on this one, so we're just like, alright, well, we don't get to have a mid. And I guess Trees was committed. Now that we're down 2, it's going to be incredibly hard to hold this. If Trees lived, like, maybe we can do something, but I don't know. It kind of just is a not great situation all around.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
And we weren't building the greatest here, so it's actually slight disad. They shouldn't know that. Okay, and they're not pushing off of it. Ah, that was another fear pop. That guy died, and then I used, the main issue was that first soldier. You saw me turn around, look around. I had no idea where that guy was. I don't even know where he came from. Maybe it was called on the comms, but I don't remember. I think I was a bit too far forward there, and that allowed that guy to just land on me. But now we're on disad, kind of in the sad zone. Oh my god, altitude gets both their scouts. So it is still possible that they Uber in on us. And of course me, I don't want to take all that spam right there, but I did. It is what it is. But now we're in the let's get a force territory. Alright, they use... oh my god, okay. Alright. That one... I definitely thought that I could milk that. I tried to surf around the corner, and I don't know if I hit the wall or not. Or if his rocket just hit me first. Obviously the correct play would have just been surf to the right, but I don't know, that one just like was unfortunate. Okay, hang on. Why can't I get it in third person? I think I slightly nudged the wall there. Ah, no, all right, now I gotta watch it again. I also don't know why it has me being like invisible, but I think it's this side. Yeah. It was just a really good shot from their soldier. And again, that's one of the situations where for me, they want to go for the exchange. So I don't know why I was playing like so aggressively. All right, we'll watch this in like super slow motion. Oh my gosh. If I hadn't nudged the wall there, I actually would have. That sucks. I lost like all my momentum on that. But so it goes. I give the guy an NS in chat. I think I. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Let me get back on my cam once I'm alive.
The control point is being contested.
Here we go. I'm like, where's my team? Yeah, our team kind of wiped. So, yeah, that one definitely on me. It's another case of expecting when they want to exchange. That is an important thing to note down. All right. They've won 2. And we're going into another mid fight. This time, I think we wanted to play it a bit more aggressively. My demo's been going Valley. I think I just need to go Valley with him. We got their medics, so you can see us like playing super passive and choke. Probably a bit too passive. We let our soldier die there. Could have held the positioning, but I think we were super scared. I was watching towards Valley, kind of like had my eye on it, but this guy bombed super high, which definitely caught me off guard. I remember, I think it was Macron saying that we forgot about Valley there, or maybe it was Newt. I definitely remembered it, but I did not realize that guy would be coming completely unspotted. Like, my positioning just completely blocked it. So, I think the correct play is just to completely back out there. I kind of wanted to like see if we could catch a feeder or something and also hold our ground, but I don't know. That's just like an unnecessary risk to take. Definitely not something I would normally do. I kind of hit a crazy surf there. One thing I will say is that my surfs, I think that they've been like mostly good. The thing that has been bad for me is just like timing on my Ubers and also just like awareness. Which now that I'm watching the demo, like they seem like relatively easy things to fix. The main thing that I've been trying to focus on is counting Ubers. Since like we've had less than a week's worth of full scrims, so counting Ubers definitely, it's a skill that if you don't do it in a long time, like you're not gonna keep the skill. I think I called it. This is even. Yeah, we're not like walking nearly fast enough. I'm like trying to spot their medigun just to double check, see if they were building. I think Turnip still wanted to use in there. Like he wanted me to get aggressive and spot because he still thought it was ad. But I had definitely called it even at that point. Yeah. This is another one where we're just holding aggressive positioning when we don't need to. And I get punished for it. Thankfully it works out. They send 4 people on me. We just like get kills. So now we're just chilling. Like somehow Turnip just walks on the cap and wins the game. Yeah, so I guess they played that really poorly. We kind of got handed that one. I don't actually think it was like good game sense on our side. Kind of got lucky. Alright, let's see if we can win a mid. We're left. This time we're like, fuck it, let's just go super aggressive left. And I get here, and both my scouts are dead, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of boned. And I hit a crazy surf here. Like, that was sick. And then, being a soldier, he's just able to follow me. Yeah. Yeah, that one's a little sad. Yeah, if your scouts die on mid and you're on their side, like, you're probably not getting out. I probably should have, like, stayed, like, buffed up altitude, see if we can just trade out their med, knowing that I was caught. But, I don't know. Right before this, I think we had a Gully Wash game against the same team that it went very poorly for us. And Gully Wash used to be one of our good maps, and now it's one of our bad maps. So, that's not great. I think right there I didn't crit heal a couple of my players, which made it kind of rough. Oh yeah. Okay, so I kind of went AFK there for a second. Like I didn't do anything. That's because I knocked over my water bottle right there and spilled water all over my keyboard. So I had to very quickly like wipe it off with my shirt and then like get back in the game, and like I turned it over to like let all the water drip out. It's like a $15 if that Amazon keyboard, so I'm not like really worried about any amount of water damage or anything. So yeah, yeah, I just get walked at. That soldier needs to die way earlier. And like somehow everyone on my team is hurt. Like even though it felt like people were only shooting me, maybe not. I don't know. I have now twice in this game had a surf where I just go straight up. You don't want those, obviously. It makes it really easy to airshot you, and it makes it really easy to hit a rocket on the ground. So maybe my surfs aren't as good as I think that they are. Obviously now trying to get a cheeky arrow on someone. Technically there's some amount of disad that there will be by me going for those arrows, but I don't know. Right, this is the end of the game. I was kind of confused about what was going on and like why we were all split up and like why we were pushing and stuff. It's because it was called that there was 10 seconds. But yeah, I was saying something before. I was distracted by that. I don't know what it was. Key takeaways from this one. For me, being more aware of the flank and the possibility that people are able to get through that. One thing I remember I used to be pretty good at was knowing what my flank was watching, so that if they weren't watching a door, I would know that, and then me being the medic and not necessarily having to look forward, I would be able to turn my head, have it on a swivel, and be able to watch that. So that's something to focus on. Second thing to focus on, when the enemy team wants the exchange, not having my positioning make it really easy to give to them. I don't think there's anything more that needs to be said about that one. Kind of self-explanatory. And what could a third thing be? I don't know. I think those are the main two. Maybe there doesn't need to be a third one, but I will keep that in mind, and I don't know, probably in like a couple weeks or so, I'll do another demo review after we've had a few more weeks of scrims. And I'll see where we're at then. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something. Thanks for watching. And if there are any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. All right, bye.